Okay, so welcome to our Study Abroad podcast series. So today we have Aditi from US who is right now working, and she is from India, and we'll be knowing about her journey from India to US. So welcome Aditi to our podcast.
Thank you so much, Vishal.
Okay, so Aditi, when was the very first time you thought about going for any abroad education or programs?
So, it has been on my mind always, like since high school, but I never knew what's the right way. And then when I got into my bachelor's of engineering, so I went to Pune Institute of Computer Technology, and many people, many seniors usually go for masters from there. So that was a good start. Like I had more people who have already done this. So I think I knew when I was in my second year that I'm going to go for masters. But I thought to wait. I thought to work for a while, see what's going out in the industry, and then go for my masters.
Sure, sure. So after your bachelor's, you did work for some years, and then you actually joined your master's program, right? How many years did you work, and what was the work like in that gap period?
So I worked for 3 years. I worked as a software engineer. My work was mostly focused on back-end blockchain technologies and a little bit of front end. So a bit of everything. And I had a very good experience. I worked with a mid-level company and another startup. So when you work with startups, you get more experience, you get more opportunities. So that was a really good experience, and that has helped me even after coming for my masters. And after my masters, that experience has helped me to get a job as well.
Sure, sure. So while you're doing this job, and that was also another time, when you had to write this resignation. So were you shaking when you wrote your resignation?
No, not really. Um, uh, so how it usually goes is you first give your GRE exam, then you write your SOP. So when you are writing the resignation, you have already gotten the acceptance letter from the university. That's usually the case. So you pretty much know that you have to leave. But I had friends who resigned before they got any acceptance. So they were like, I'll resign, then I will prepare for my GRE exam, then so that I'll have more time to research universities and everything. So I think for them it's scary. Then you have to be pretty sure because you don't have any backup option. For me, I applied to a bunch of universities, and I knew like if I don't get anywhere, it's okay. I have a job.
So you did your resignation once you had offer in hand, right?
Yeah,
Or did you wait for the visa also? You didn't think there might be visa issue that time?
there might be, but like once you get the acceptance, you are pretty sure that you are going to go for that. And I worked for 3 years, right? So once you work for 3 years, you are pretty confident about your potential. And you know that even if this won't work out, you can always look for another job. And more than that, I knew that my current company will extend my job because it's very important to have good relations with your current company. It shouldn't be like I'm going to leave for masters anyway, so why should I care about my job? That's not the right attitude, because they help you out even after masters. When you are looking for new opportunities, it's good to be in touch with them. And so yeah, I knew like if my visa don't get through, uh, they are going to extend my job period. And I actually talked about that. So before applying for resignation, I talked with my manager. I talked with so it was a startup. So I talked with the CEO of the company that I am planning to go for masters, and this is a really good opportunity. And so my visa and anything, everything is not done. So there is a slight chance if things go wrong way, I'll stay here a bit longer. So what are your thoughts about that? And they were really happy for me. They were like, okay, it's it's sad that you are going, but it's okay. We will support you.
I think they were proud actually that, okay, one of our employees going for study abroad, right?
Yes.
Did you ask one of them to also write a letter of recommendation for you?
Um, at my second company, I worked for just 6 months. So I got my letter of recommendation from my previous company.
Okay, okay. And you had to submit like two or three recommendations. How many was the requirement?
So I think the requirement was three. And as I was already working, two were from my uh, professional experience. So two were from my previous company. And I think one was from my academic background. But total, there are three. And there is recommended number, like one you should get from your college, and other two you should get from professional people. So that varies according to the university course and number of experiences, number of years of experience you had in the industry.
So was it easy to find these three people? You already had three good relations, or did you struggle here?
No, it was three is pretty less actually, because one you can get from you must have done a project during your bachelor's of engineering, like your final year project. So you have that mentor, that one person, and when you work, you have your manager. So it's not that hard, but you should always have backups. You should always know a few more people. Like it's so if you know someone like the CEO of the company, so his recommendation will mean much more than your colleague's recommendation. But
Sure, sure.
yeah, but the point is, like, that person should really know you. It shouldn't be like the CEO has never worked with you and he's recommending you. So that is wrong.
Correct, correct. Usually immediate supervisors, immediate managers, one level up, because friends will be too much of a cheating, and two level up will also be kind of a cheating because they don't know you.
Yeah, but like if you have worked with them on a few projects, it's good.
Sure, sure, sure. And your statement of purpose also you had to write. So what was the content like in your statement of purpose? Like, did you write, how did you make your statement of purpose for your application?
Um, so for my statement of purpose, I talked with other people who have already gone for their masters, and like everyone has a very different background. Like they would have some different bachelor's degree, and then they are going for some different masters, and they had some different years of experience. So you have to talk to more people to understand like how people are writing that, and also everyone's approach is very different. So some people make it too technical, some people make it more about their life. So it always varies. And you also need to understand like what university you are applying to, and what kind of SOPs do they like like. So it's very different. And at the end of the day, you have to uh, I think there are a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, and you can read so many blogs and everything. But end of the day, it has to be your own. So you have to do all the research and then write what feels right for you. So it's a
Correct.
bit tricky. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
no right. But
Yeah.
very important is people usually pay people to write their SOPs. And I think that is the worst thing you can do because like usually they have a template and they are writing the SOP for 100 other students, so they don't care that much about your SOP. How, and you care a lot, so you can always seek help, but it's better to write your own SOP.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it's better to write your own, and obviously for like, making it a bit glamorous or a bit more impactful, you can always rephrase that with some, let's say, English experts.
Yeah, I think editing is fine, but it should be your own, because many universities have this softwares. So they can directly detect if the SOP is plagiarized, and they directly blacklist you. So that's very bad.
Correct, correct. How many colleges did you apply to for your study abroad applications?
I think I applied to 8 colleges, 8 universities.
All in US or other country as well?
All in US. I was pretty sure about US.
So how did you decide that US is the only country you want to go? You rejected all other countries. Was there a thought process behind this rejection?
Yes. So I was pretty sure I wanted to do my master's in computer science and more specifically artificial intelligence. So I've many people suggested me like go for a generalized degree computer science and then you can specialize in AI. I was like okay, and US was the lead and actually is the lead in AI. So why do you want to go to some country which has lesser opportunities? And that was my selection criteria. And once you know like what course you are going for, it's pretty clear. And there are other factors like visa and everything. So depends how much you weigh that.
So you are working in blockchain, you mentioned. Did you also work a bit on AI that time or not? Nothing like that.
So I did my projects in ML, computer vision during my bachelor's degree. I did not specifically work with AI.
Did you learn Python during your bachelor's or your school time?
No.
So you learned Python directly in your master's for your AI things.
But once you are a software engineer for 3 years, it's okay. Like I've worked with different languages before, and Python, it wasn't like I'm seeing Python for the first time. I saw codes in Python when I was working with computer vision. I was working with these two languages like MATLAB and Python. So I didn't really learn Python, but I knew like how to use that language.
Sure, sure. But I think usually what I see is the data science, the AI ML field. So Python is kind of a prerequisite or Python-like language at least. So I guess you already had a bit of experience or you were experienced enough to learn this on the fly at least.
Yeah, and that's not a major thing because I had my background. I knew C, CPP, Java, some languages for blockchain, and I had many languages on my resume, so it was pretty evident like I can catch up. And I think it took me hardly a week to learn Python when I went for my master's. And people, so I was working till a week before my flight to US. So I didn't get time to prepare, but many people do the prerequisites before coming here.
Sure, sure. That can be an advice to the audience that if you're doing something AI ML, maybe learn a bit of a Python before so that you are smoother here.
Yeah, yeah. Like for me, it was different because I was always working with new technologies. So I was in the habit of learning. But for some people, it can be really stressful. If some new language comes up and they're like, it gets overwhelming. So it's
Sure, sure.
better to prepare for it to be confident.
So out of these 8 applications, you got offer from one or two, and then you pinned down to Buffalo as your choice. How was that final selection?
Okay, so there were few other offers, and then there were additional offers where I applied for computer science, but they gave me software engineering. So when I got all the offers, I looked at the coursework, like what courses they are offering. I looked at the expense, and Buffalo being a public university, uh, it had more points for on that criteria. And I was taking education loan, so I was a little hesitant about expenses. And also I was pretty sure I want to specialize in AI. And Buffalo was offering like in my course I had flexibility to take all AI courses, whereas other universities were offering computer science where you have to complete the core courses and you can take AI as elective. So this was other criteria.
Sure, sure, sure. And how did you book your accommodation?
So once you get into a university, uh, you can join that university groups like maybe WhatsApp groups, Discord groups, and from there you find people. So living on campus was a bit expensive, and depending on what university you're going to. So for Buffalo, most people live off campus. So off campus is cheaper and it's secure, it's safe. For some other universities, off campus is not that cheap, or it's not that safe, so people don't go for it. So then you talk to some people on maybe LinkedIn who have been to that university. You ask like what places do you look, like where you can live, what neighborhoods are safe, transport expenses, everything. And then um, I think on the Discord group, someone shared a spreadsheet where you can fill in your details to find roommates and stuff. And yeah, that's how I found my housemates in Buffalo.
Sure, sure. So, and this was fixed before you flew, right? I mean, your accommodation was all sorted before you did fly.
Yes. So you have to talk online with the brokers or landlords and everyone. And then you have to pay them. So that part is a bit scary because in India, we are very used to looking at the house and meeting that person and then paying. So yeah, like you have to be a little cautionary, like, okay, yeah, because
But
it's a huge amount when you are paying. So you have
but
to get
in
the lease and everything.
your case, it was all okay, right? Like you didn't get scammed.
I know I didn't get scammed, but I did my research. So there's a lot of work there. So usually, what people think and what I thought is once you get into an university, it would be easier. But no, I think I was working my day job for 8 9 hours, and then I was doing this work for 5 6 hours. So it's a lot.
It's a lot of background checks.
Yeah, and a lot of research, and you have to get the best deal on everything. So it's a lot, but you need that lease before flying to US because during the customs, and I think when you enter US, they ask for this, like where are you going to stay and everything.
Sure, sure, sure. And which flight did you choose? How did you choose your flight to come here?
So even that was a long process because uh, I was looking at many options, and there are so many flights. So initially, I was looking at a cheaper option, and so I had to go to Buffalo, right? So the cheaper option was flying from Mumbai to JFK, New York, and then taking a train or bus from there. So I was planning on doing that initially, but then I talked with more people, and everyone was like, "It's your first time in US. You are gonna have such a long flight for the first time, and you might be exhausted, and you don't know this country. So it's difficult to navigate through that, like what bus stop to go and everything. So people do that, but you have to do your research. You have to be pretty confident about that. Then I ended up booking Qatar because Qatar and Emirates are very trusted, and they don't cancel the flight last minute. They don't misplace your luggage. And when you are coming to a new country, it's okay to pay a bit more there, but when you fly from here, it's you should reach your city. So my flight was directly from Mumbai to Buffalo. It had layovers. It had one layover in Doha. It had other
Doha.
layover in, yeah. But my destination was Buffalo, and that also helps when you enter US because your flight ticket says Buffalo, so they don't ask many questions. They see like, okay, the location of university matches the destination she is going. If not, then some people fly to their relatives. Then you have to do a bit of more explaining. So that gets a little tricky. So it's always to fly to the destination.
Did you ever faced any random checks at the airport?
No, I didn't, but I have heard stories regarding that.
And this was your first time to US, right?
Yeah, this was my first time to US.
So were you flying with a bunch of people or was it a solo trip for you?
No, I was flying with one of my housemate, and one more person we knew is going to the same university. So we were talking for a while, like discussing like what courses you are taking and stuff. So we were taking the same flight, and when we got into the flight, so advantage of going through Qatar Emirates is you find many people. So we got like 10 more people who were flying to same destination. So that's good because when I got to JFK, I had to take an air train, and you have to figure out like where to go. But if you have a bunch of people around you, you know that you are going to get there.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
like
helps.
getting stuck, in the lift with 10 more people. Getting stuck alone is too hard.
Yeah. So I think you should always fly with someone, even if you don't know that person much. It's easier to figure out stuff. When I had my layover at Doha, my internet wasn't working, but some people who were on the same flight, who were flying to same university, their FaceTime was working. So I was able to call my family and let them know that uh, I have arrived here. So that gives you some peace of mind.
And you knew anyone in US before, like some kind of local guardian or some relatives, etc.?
No, no, nothing. I knew a few of my seniors who were in US. I knew a few of my friends who were in US, but no one was in Buffalo or like near anywhere. But no family, no relatives.
Okay, okay. So that way it would have been more probably scarier for your parents to send you because you don't know anyone in Buffalo as such initially. But once you found, let's say, your roommates and housemates, then things were a bit more relaxed for them, probably.
Yes, because like when you are leaving the country, you need to make them comfortable as well. Because you are starting on a new journey, but when you are flying there, they are going to be in that panic situation. I think my mom didn't sleep for a night when I was traveling. So you have to make them comfortable. You have to give them all the details. Okay, I'll be going here. I know these people, so you don't have to worry about it. And here's where I'll be staying. So that you have to do at least initial few days. It's good for you, it's good for them.
Sure, sure. How was your cooking cleaning experience? Were you used to it or you learned everything once you are in
uh,
US?
I wasn't used to it. I hated cooking, so I never learned it. And a week before going, I was telling my family, please teach me something, please teach me how to cook because I have to cook there. And then it was fun actually because I did not have much time to learn. I think I tried 2, 3 times. So they gave me basics like, okay, this is how you do tadka. And all my extended family also got involved. They were like, okay, this is the right way you cook roti and stuff. So yeah, and I was like, okay, I think I know everything. And and I went there, and I think I learned more by doing it when I was with my housemates. One or two of them were good cooks, so I learned by looking at them. Okay, this is the right way, maybe, but you should know basics because when you come here, everything is expensive. You don't want to pay like so much for anything, and it gets scary. So it's good to cook at home. And I carried ready to cook meals and a few basic things when I went there. I don't think so I used that much apart from 1 or 2 days, but that was because I was living in a big house. I had 5 more roommates, housemates. So when you have 6 people in the house, you figure things out. But if you are going somewhere where you are alone, you need that ready to cook and like for the first week at least to get started. And when I arrived, we did not have gas for 1 or 2 days.
Sure, sure, sure. And what about the cleaning and the laundry? You are used to it or you learned it? You learned these also there.
I learned that there. So for laundry, we had in-house laundry.
Yeah.
Some people have coin laundry. Some people have to take clothes somewhere. I think that is pretty basic. Like being a tech person, you obviously know that. Every kid knows that laundry, and cleaning. I think I was good at cleaning because I saw some of my housemates. They were very bad at it, and we had to teach them. So compared to them, I was good. But it's okay. You should be ready to learn because we had a housemate who was like, okay, but how do I clean? But she was ready to do her turn. So you should have that willingness. I see some people go there and they're like, I don't know cleaning, so I won't ever clean. I can cook more. I'm like,
Sure,
so
sure.
I don't.
What about part-time jobs, internships? Did you do any of them in your master's degree career?
Yes, I did. So for part time, first semester I did not do anything because Yeah, one more mistake, or maybe it didn't work out for me, is before going there, people start looking for part-time jobs and internships. I was working till a week before my flight, so I didn't get time to do anything. So I did not have anything in my first semester. And it's usually recommended that don't do anything in your first semester, focus on your studies and settling down there, because so many new things are happening. And being from India, you haven't ever done a part-time, so you're not used to that kind of uh, like work. So maybe if like money is not the issue, maybe you can avoid first semester. I started doing teaching assistantship from my second semester. I did a summer course, so I did not do my internship in summer. I did my internship in fall, and with my internship, I did my part time as well in fall.
Sure, sure.
Uh,
And your full-time job that you are doing right now, how was this job application process for you? How was your rejection journey when you are applying for jobs, etc.? Any hiccups you had?
yeah, so I graduated in December 23. So market was pretty bad, and I started applying from June 23, and there was like no response from anywhere. Market was very bad. Uh, I knew people who worked at Google in India, and they were not getting anything because most of the companies were on hiring freeze and layoffs and everything. So it was bad. I was getting initial calls, but I wasn't getting any interviews. Uh, I think I wasn't getting an interview till I graduated, and no one was, like, no one at least I knew was. It was like 1 out of 10 people are getting any interviews, or people who had done internships and they had often offered from their internships have the jobs. Then once I started my EAD, that is employment authorization date. So I applied uh, for that, and my date started in January. So once and when you fill out the applications, you mention the EAD date there. So I think companies were monitoring for that date, and when that date was closed, I started getting many interview calls. And yeah, I reached out to people from LinkedIn and stuff, and I think I had most of my interviews within a week. So you have to be prepared there. So and then I got my job.
So your final job was courtesy of which job portal or LinkedIn? What was the thing for you?
um, I found that job from not directly through LinkedIn, but LinkedIn helped because I was talking with someone from LinkedIn and I got to know about this company. And when you are in that phase, when you are looking for a job, you hear about some company, you Google that website and you apply on their careers website. So that is how I applied for this job. So I think I found about this company back in October. I applied for a bunch of jobs, but nothing matched. And yeah, it didn't work out. I was like, okay. And then I saw one job which was matching my profile and everything. And I applied for that again in December. They called me. They were like, okay. And then that's it. They just ghosted me. And after 1 month, they came back and they were like, okay, so we had that call. I'm like, okay. And then they arranged interviews and stuff. So, so I had a very unique experience here because I applied for a job which required 7+ years of experience, and I had just 3 years of experience. But I was just trying to pitch them like, see, I have 3 years of experience. I have done 2 years of my master's, which was a lot of learning and experimenting and research. And I matched the job description very well. And although it's 3 years of experience, I have worked with startups, and my experience, I got to experience uh, more than my job profile. Like I have led a team for a while, and like I had to pitch that a lot. And then finally they were like, okay, let's give you a chance. It uh, we require a lot more experience, but okay, maybe we are not finding anyone else. Like this is a very very unique profile, so maybe you can take a few interviews and see where it goes. And after the interviews, obviously, like 7+ years is a lot. Like you cannot say equal to someone who has worked for 7+ years. Uh, so they were like, okay, we really like you. Obviously, you are not worthy of a 7+ years job, but we will create a new job role for you. So they
Okay.
created a new job role for me. So
So,
that's how
so a bit of a luck and bit of a hard work saved you.
it's everything. Like you have to keep trying. You have to know like where to hit, because you cannot be applying for a random job and faking everything in your resume. That doesn't work.
So my next question for you, Aditi, is what are your future goals in the next few years?
Um, so my future goals are um, I'm working with an innovation team. So I would definitely like to work on a few more technical upgrades, and also learn the corporate culture here, because that is very important. And back in India, I have always worked with startups. So it's the US corporate world is also very different. You have to learn a few things to get ahead. And there is this mentorship thing which is very popular in US. So I found a few mentors. Like I talk with people, try to understand like, okay, how do you keep learning? How do you keep growing? And to understand like where do you want to go? Do you want to go ahead in the technical field, uh, or do you want to go into some different job role, maybe which is a combination of uh, technical management or something else? Like, what is your cause? Because I think back in India, I never thought about job this way, or none of the people around me did. But when you are in US, you have more opportunities, and I feel there's more freedom to work somewhere and like do what you love. So I'm looking like maybe to go into some different industry. Right now, I'm working in the finance industry. So I want to learn more about finance and then see like, do I like this industry or do I want to go to some other industry? Because your technical skills, your job is just a tool, but like, what are you contributing towards? And also like when you understand the industry more, you feel like you are contributing towards some cause, and you can have like more impact. And yeah, so that is what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of navigating, I'm in between. So I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
very set goals, but I'm in the process of creating some goals for me.
Yeah, I think that
And
is the goal. Goal clarity is your goal.
yeah, goal clarity is my goal right now, because right now everything is fascinating, everything is new. Like I like research, I work with AI, and so many new things are happening in AI. But down the lane, some things are going to fade out, some things are going to come up. So I want to be on the edge of it. Like I want to be working with something which is going to come up, obviously. So yeah,
Yeah,
you have to find that out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. So coming to the very last question, Aditi, what advice would you give to younger yourself, the aspirants back in India or elsewhere who are planning to do, let's say, study abroad, masters, etc.?
My advice would be that network more. And when I heard about networking, I think it took me a while to figure out like what networking really is. I was like, I'm more of an introvert. I don't like talking to people. How do I talk with people? But networking is not about that. Networking is just connecting with more people, maybe LinkedIn, maybe something else. Maybe you read a blog and you just mail that person, maybe just connect with that person on LinkedIn, so that when you have some questions, you know who to reach out to. So I was a first generation student. I was first generation coming to US. I had I didn't know like whom to ask, what is going to happen next. So if you have that network, you can always ask questions. Okay, this is my background. I think I like this. Uh, like what are opportunities out there for me? And and you also get to understand like what other people are working with. When you are right out of college, maybe in India, your scope is very limited. You think, okay, maybe you did computer science, you have to go to software engineering, and that's it. But it's not like that. And I have seen many people drop out of software engineering jobs because they are like, no, this is not for me. But when you talk with more people, you understand like you can do something you're passionate about and use the skills you have gained. So I would say network more, definitely. Do more research and also look for more scholarships and more opportunities if you can. Uh, because I think I have missed out on many scholarships before coming here. And uh, have some plan of the side hustle. So I think many people write blogs, share videos, and everything. Uh, and I think I could have done something like that because I had many things to share. But after coming here, you get busy, so you have to have that plan right from India. And and yeah, if you are applying for some internships and everything, do that before coming here, because when the market was bad, those were the only people who had internships. And that too, getting an internship is easier than getting a job because you have few rounds and the criteria is less. So people got internships in Google, Apple, uh, just because they applied early. So you have to understand that everyone is talented, everyone knows so much. So how do they shortlist? They shortlist based on like who came first, because that shows like how sincere you are about this thing, how well prepared you are. And and also have a little bit of plan after you come here. uh, like because many people come here and they get overwhelmed. They don't understand like I have to cook, I have to eat, I have to wash, I have to study. Like how can I do everything in a day? It's hard, right? But after a few months you realize, okay, maybe I can do that. But you have wasted those 3 4 months, and that happens because you were surprised. So you have to talk with people and you have to learn tricks. There are tricks to do things. And rather than learning them on your own, it's better to learn from someone else's experience.
Sure, sure, sure. Any recommendation on LinkedIn as such? A lot of people are not on LinkedIn usually, like even during their college, etc. What's your take on LinkedIn usage for youngsters?
I think you have to be on LinkedIn. Whatever profession you are in, you think maybe I'm in some profession where other people are not on LinkedIn. So what do I do here? But it's not like that. You will have to collaborate at some point. You will have to collaborate with different people, and LinkedIn is the way to go. And it matters like how much you network on LinkedIn and have those quality connections. Because if so I'll give you an example. During my job search, uh, many of my peers were complaining that they message someone and they don't get a reply, whereas I remember I got reply 90% of the time. And that was because I connected with them before. uh, I followed them. I and maybe had a chat with them sometime related to some post they posted or like something, or maybe no, didn't even have a chat. Just said thanks for accepting my request. And when I went to that chat after 3 4 months and messaged them, hey, I found this job at your company. Uh, do you mind referring me, or like, or what is the way to go if you cannot refer? Like, what is the right way to go? I have already applied on the careers page, or like show them that I have made an effort, and they see that I have been their connection for a few months. And it's not like randomly I found a job and then I started looking for them and then I messaged them. So they are more likely to reply you. And always be considerate of others' time. I uh, I feel like privacy is a big thing here. Uh, what many people do is they somehow find the work email and mail them. Even I keep getting random mails from random people, and they are directly attaching the resume and they're like, refer me. I'm like, no, that's not right.
Correct.
So be respectful when you are making connections on LinkedIn.
Yeah, obviously there is a bit of a building relation first, and then maybe asking for favors, possibly. You cannot just make a connection and then say, okay, can you refer? Nobody is going to refer. Like nobody even knows you, right? So why will they
And
refer?
and be precise with what you are asking, because other person doesn't have a time. And if you show like you have made an actual effort, maybe just for the job description you have matched your resume and you are saying, okay, see, I'm right for this role, and rather than bombarding them with 4 or 5 roles, you are just saying this is just the one role I want, and that makes a difference. They're like, okay.
Be more precise.
Be more precise.
Correct. Thank you, Aditi, for your time and your insights. And I think such a detailed explanation on networking and job hunting. And I think our audience would have learned a lot after seeing this episode. So have a good day, Aditi. It was nice knowing your experience. Have a good day. Bye.
A good day. Good luck to everyone. Thank you.